In the time of ancient history, a nomadic tribe emerged, shrouded in mystery, the Huns, wanderers of the 4th and 5th centuries CE. Their origin, a puzzle lost in the annals of time, likely whispered from the realms between the eastern edge of the Altai Mountains and the Caspian Sea, in the heart of modern-day Kazakhstan. At first, they were mere echoes in the Roman chronicles, mentioned by the historian Tacitus in 91 CE. Dwelling around the Caspian Sea, the Huns were then no more menacing than any other barbarian tribe. However, as the sands of time shifted, so did their destiny, and the Huns etched their name as architects of the fall of the mighty Roman Empire. Their relentless invasions, marked by brutality, sparked the Great Migration, a tumultuous period from 376 to 476 CE. Waves of people, Alans, Goths, Vandals, swept across the lands, disrupting the Roman tapestry. The Visigoths, thrust into Roman territory by the Huns in 376 CE, bore the brunt of abuse. Harboring resentment, they rose in revolt, igniting the First Gothic War of 376 to 382 CE. At the Battle of Adrianople in 378 CE, the Romans faced defeat, and their emperor Valens met his demise. Yet, amidst the tales of savagery, a different narrative unfolded through the pen of Priscus of Panium. He walked among the Huns, dining with their leader Attila and dwelling in their settlement. His words painted a more nuanced picture, revealing a glimpse into the lives of these nomadic people. Under the rule of Attila from 434 to 453 CE, the Huns emerged as Europe's most formidable military force. Their presence cast a shadow of death and devastation, leaving an indelible mark on the lands they traversed. However, as the curtain fell on Attila's era, his sons engaged in a power struggle, squandering resources. By 469 CE, the empire Attila had built crumbled into ruins. The origins of the Huns intrigued scholars for centuries, with speculation connecting them to the enigmatic Xiongnu people who once troubled the borders of northern China during the Han dynasty. The French Orientalist Joseph de Guines proposed this link in the 18th century, suggesting a shared lineage. However, modern scholarship, lacking evidence, tends to dismiss this connection. Kelly, supported by fellow historians, places the Huns' probable origin in Kazakhstan. Yet, as historical mists shroud their beginnings, ancient writers painted the Huns as evil beasts emerging from the wilderness to unleash havoc on civilization. The Huns, often characterized as both mobile and ferocious, struck with swiftness, leaving chaos in their wake. Writers like Ammianus Marcellinus depicted them as wild, barely resembling humans, surviving on raw flesh and roots. Jordanes, though biased, traced their origin to witches mating with demons, birthing a savage tribe dwelling in the swamps. As the Huns crossed the Meotic swamp, their encounter with Scythia unfolded a new chapter. Fueled by admiration, they swept across the land like a whirlwind of nations, sacrificing captives and conquering all in their path. The Huns, a relentless force of the 4th and 5th centuries CE, etched their mark across the pages of history with a swiftness that belied their nomadic roots. Their conquest of the region now known as Hungary in 370 CE was a testament to their speed and prowess in battle. By 376 CE, they had subjugated the Alans and driven the Visigoths under Fritigern into Roman territory. The Huns' invasion triggered widespread chaos. As they fell upon the Alans, who, in turn, attacked the Goths, a domino effect of violence rippled through the tribes of the Tefali and Sarmatians. Seeking refuge, many of these tribes, including the Goths, turned to Roman territory. Denied entry, they sought their own means of escape from the Huns. The Huns' relentless onslaught continued as they overran Roman territories in Thrace and Syria between 395 and 398 CE, leaving destruction in their wake. What made the Huns particularly enigmatic was their dual role as allies and enemies of Rome. Some Huns served in the Roman army as foederati, while others pillaged Roman lands. This apparent contradiction stemmed from the lack of a central Hun leader. Factions within the tribe followed their own chiefs, making it challenging to discern the overall objectives of the Huns, beyond a penchant for theft and rapine. The pressure on Rome and neighboring tribes persisted as the Huns unleashed raids without restraint. The Thervingi, led by Athanaric, faced a grim fate in a ravaged land where the Huns could strike at will. In December of 406 CE, the Vandals, fleeing the Huns, crossed the frozen Rhine River, bringing remnants of various tribes with them. The Romans, like other affected peoples, struggled to fend off Hunnic attacks. In 408 CE, Odin, a chief among the Huns, ravaged Thrace, prompting the Romans to resort to paying for peace. Unable to meet Odin's exorbitant demands, they opted to buy off his subordinates, a method that proved successful and became the preferred means of dealing with the Huns. Facing the Huns on the battlefield was a daunting prospect. Their unconventional tactics, described by Ammianus, involved swift and sudden movements, dispersing and reassembling in loose array. Their expertise in mounted warfare, their seeming unity with their steeds, and their effective use of the bow made them unparalleled adversaries. Dressed in layers of leather, protected by helmets and chainmail, and mounted on horses, the Huns were a force to be reckoned with. Their ability to appear suddenly, attack with a whirlwind's fury, and vanish made them seemingly invincible. The Huns' formidable fighting force would reach new heights under the leadership of Attila, the most famous of their chiefs. As the Huns unified under his command, their menace would cast a dark shadow over the ancient world. The saga of the Huns reached a pivotal chapter with the co-reign of Attila and Bleda, two nephews of the Hun chief Ruhila, who had earned the title of King of the Huns by 430 CE. It remains uncertain whether Ruhila ruled over the entire Hunnic tribe or just its largest faction. Ruhila's death in 433 CE marked the ascension of the two brothers, Attila and Bleda, who jointly assumed the leadership of the Huns. In a surprising turn, Attila and Bleda brokered the Treaty of Margus with Rome in 439 CE, continuing the tradition of Roman payments to the Huns in exchange for peace. This allowed Roman forces to withdraw from the Danube region and confront the Vandals threatening provinces in Sicily and North Africa. The Huns, seizing the opportunity, turned eastward and clashed with the Sassanid Empire but were repelled. The peace established by the Treaty of Margus was short-lived, as Attila and Bleda seized the moment when Roman troops were occupied elsewhere. In 441 CE, they launched a devastating offensive, breaching borders and sacking Roman trade centers in Illyricum. This aggression culminated in the destruction of Margus itself, leading to the treaty's demise. The Roman Emperor Theodosius II, initially confident in the Hunnic commitment to peace, now faced the consequences of his miscalculation. Attila and Bleda responded with a full-scale invasion, ravaging Roman cities, including Nisus, situated only 20 miles from Constantinople. The Huns, well-versed in siege warfare from their time in the Roman army, showcased their expertise by wiping entire cities off the map. The unexpected ferocity of their offensive caught the Romans off guard, prompting Theodosius II to recall his armies to halt the Hun rampage. In 445 CE, the vanishing of Bleda from historical records raised suspicions of his assassination by Attila, who now stood as the sole ruler of the Huns. Attila's leadership style and demeanor differed markedly from the traditional image of a barbarian conqueror. Descriptions by Priscus and others paint a picture of a leader who, despite his ferocity on the battlefield, exhibited restraint and temperance in his personal life. Attila's simplicity, moderation, and adherence to traditional customs set him apart from the excesses of Roman rulers. Attila's military prowess and influence expanded the Hunnic Empire, which, by 452 CE, sprawled from present-day Russia through Hungary and across Germany to France. Despite the raids and destruction he wrought, Attila maintained an intricate relationship with Rome, receiving tribute and even serving as a Roman general while conducting campaigns against Roman territories. In 453 CE, Attila married Ildico and, on his wedding night, met an unexpected end due to excessive wine consumption. The demise of this legendary warrior plunged his army into profound grief. The Huns mourned Attila with a unique blend of celebration and lamentation, showcasing the magnitude of their loss. Attila's death marked the beginning of the end for the Hunnic Empire. The dissolution accelerated as his three sons, Alak, Dengizich, and Ernik, inherited different regions. The empire, once held together by Attila's commanding presence, crumbled as the brothers turned against each other. The Battle of Nadao in 454 CE, where Alak met his demise, became a turning point. Ardaric, king of the Gepidae, revolted against the oppressive Huns, initiating the unraveling of their dominion. With Ardaric's rebellion, oppressed tribes seized the opportunity to break free from Hunnic control. The empire disintegrated, and its people assimilated into the cultures they had once dominated. The Goth massacre of the Huns in Pannonia and other reprisals followed the fall of the empire. After 469 CE, the once formidable Huns vanished from historical accounts, leaving behind stories of their massacres, raids, and the terror they instilled in the years preceding the death of their greatest king.